Hello, everyone. I'm Professor Geek. My internet cut out or something, or it might just been Google Drive being weird again. Playthroughs did for me. So get off of there. All right, there we go. I see a frozen screen right now. What is going on with this? StreamYard needs to get it together. Or either that. No, I guess it's not StreamYard. I guess it's just my connections or something. I don't know. So my YouTube's rather fuzzy myself. Yes, Melissa Harris's camera's freezing. Let me see. But how can you hear me though? Am I coming through okay? Because I mean, well, you kind of do need to see me tonight for everything I had planned, but we'll see. See how this works. Casey Scott, hey, welcome. Let me know if you can at least hear me okay, guys. Devil in the Details says I can hear you, not see you though. Frozen. All right. Audio's awesome. That's good. So we're good. Let me try that. Try that screen again. Nothing is on in here that would be affecting it. I don't know. So let me wait until that catches up there and see how this works. See what's going on. Sounds good though. That's good. Is that going to slowly work, or is it still being frozen? Oh, look, I'm moving. Oh, that's good. Okay. YouTube's a little bit behind, so I'm trying to see if it works. So let me know what the camera's looking like to you guys now. If you have to refresh or something, do what you got to do. But hopefully the camera, because what I planned tonight, I want to show you some things on camera that you kind of need to see for it to work tonight, because it's pretty awesome. All right, my camera looks like it's working pretty well. How's it working for you guys? Looks like it's cleared up. Must have been a glitch. I don't know. I will go ahead and welcome the chat since everybody can hear me just fine, and hopefully the camera will pan out, figure it out. Devil in the Details says image moving. That's good. That's all good. So I do believe that Melissa Harris was here first. So welcome to Melissa Harris. You get the first up award today again, I believe. Didn't you have it somewhat recently as well? Or was that on another stream? I don't know. But Melissa Harris, you're always hanging out with us. Love to see you around. Glad you're here, Melissa Harris. You're a constant in our YouTube life. Troy Pacelli, welcome. His third like to his POV. Yeah, looks like Melissa was first, but you're second, Troy. Welcome, Troy. Thanks for hanging out. Sartorian Clegane, welcome, sir. I think it's a sir, right? Yeah. Casey Scott, as I said, hey, Devil in the Details, welcome. Sound Engraver's with us. Welcome, Sound Engraver. Sound is awesome. Okay. Audio is not frozen. Great. Jedi Master Zetopia, welcome. Netter's Network, hello. Got my hi, sweetie. Signature hello from Netter. And I think that's everybody in the chat. But we got about 11 people, it looks like, from I don't want to refresh it. I don't want to touch anything going on right now anymore. I don't know what's up with this, but welcome everybody. Whew, it has been a day. I did go onto campus today because my classes are technically hybrid now, but they're basically online. I just go in for people who want to come see me face to face, and that's fine. So it was a busy day of that. I had to do some errands. I had a couple unforeseen things pop up. It was just my day to myself. I didn't have Alyssa today, but a few things popped up that I had to take care of, but I didn't. I wanted to record a video for the Catholic Bible Geek channel, and time was kind of slipping away. But I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do it. So that's what I was doing right before this this video. In fact, I had some software up and I recorded it, not through StreamYard. So hopefully it should be a nice, decent video over there, clean and crisp, just through my webcam onto my computer. Was able to record that video and then jump over here just in time for this. I'm saying all that to let you know that the book study, which is happening at 10-ish here, I'm going to bring Al in for our Halloween tree book study, which I'm very excited about. Al's here, says peekaboo. Welcome, Al. Very excited about this, but I didn't get a chance to prepare this week, as I often do, underlining certain passages and everything. But I didn't have a chance to prepare a couple times for Dune, and Al said he couldn't even tell a difference. So, that's good. We'll see. Hopefully it'll be a good book study. What I want to show you guys tonight, though, and I wanted to let our usual number of people get in here first. I just received something in the mail today, which is pretty freaking awesome. It came, I've got it hooked up here, but it came in this box. And let me get the StreamYard up so I can show you. Maybe you've seen ads for this on. I didn't really know what it was. I had to do some research. I thought this was a scam. I really did just think it was a scam. Maybe you've seen ads for it on Facebook or whatever. That's where they hit me up because they track you and everything like that and know what you like. And it was a video game system called Retrobox. Retrobox. So I've been looking for a lot of classic games and stuff like that. I've been basically, my girlfriend's a big gamer, so I've been trying to score points. And I've been looking for different games and stuff like that. And I saw this and I thought, this is too good to be true. This is too good to be true. Because it's supposed to have, you know how they have those reissued Nintendos or Sega Genesises and stuff like that they're doing, and you have to pay a huge arm and a leg for them, and they're not even very available. You know, they sell out quickly, and then you've got not even all the good games are on them apparently and stuff like that. Because I used to play Sega Genesis all the time, and I really wanted to play the old Sega Genesis. Now, you guys did, if you were watching my gaming stream a little while ago, I did buy that Sega Genesis Classics on Xbox. And that has a lot of good ones. It has a lot of good ones. But what about the old Nintendo ones I used to play? Or the old GameCubes and stuff like that ones? Not Castlevania, not Contra, not those awful ones you guys try to make me play. But this, I saw this retro box, and it's supposed to have like all the games on it ever, period. So I did a little research. And apparently it's legit. Basically, it's this thing called, and I didn't even know about it. You people who are into like computers and gaming, maybe you know about the BlackBerry. I think it's the BlackBerry, it's the Raspberry or something like that. But it's this little device that you can, if you want, do it pretty cheaply on your own. If you get one of these little, I want to say BlackBerry, but that's a phone. Maybe it's called BlackBerry, but Raspberry or whatever. This little device that you can use certain settings on your smart TV and whatnot to download a lot of retro games from certain platforms that are doing it. Well, somebody finally took it upon themselves to just package it on their own. Raspberry. Thank you, Troy. Raspberry Pi. Yeah, that's it. So a lot of people now are just packaging it on their own. They're preloading it with all the classic games, any game you can think of. And this one comes with two controllers that look like the old NES, Super NES. Anyway, it comes with two controllers, and it's very small. Let me see if it'll reach over here. The actual thing, you'll see it when I turn the camera around. It's very small. It's a small little box, but it comes with certain games, certain stickers, so I can customize it however I want. I can make it look like the old Sega Genesis. I can make it look like that and put that sticker on it. I can make it look like the original Nintendo or an Atari even, because it's got all that stuff on it. So I'm going to switch it on for a second. I'm going to turn my webcam around and see if it will show you enough here what's going on. But I'm going to show you a little bit of it. And you can get it from a couple different places. Retrobox is the name of it. Some people are claiming to sell it pretty cheaply. I think those are the ones you have to do a lot of the downloading work yourself on. I went for sort of a moderate level price. I didn't want to be gouged, but I didn't want to miss out on anything because I don't do the computer stuff and all of the work of, downloading and everything like that. Casey Scott said, Castlevania bad? Heathen. No, it's not bad. It's an amazing game. I'm just not very good at it. That's all. In fact, the SNES one, the one that Fan Man, screams and squeals over, isn't a bad game. It's not a bad game. I give him a hard time with it. Troy said, even Netter knows that. Well, I didn't know it. Devil in the Details says, since we are waiting, I have a question. Your basic sources seem to be Campbell, the Book of the American Hero, and your own, which I find interesting. Do I have it right? You mean sources like on the stuff I talk about? No, there's a lot of comparative mythologists. Campbell's just like the granddaddy, the godfather of comparative mythology. So you're always going to talk about him. Shelton and Lawrence, John Shelton and or John Lawrence and I'm getting their names mixed up, but the ones who wrote the American Monomyth book, they write a lot. That's the one book that I've cited in my videos, but they write a lot. There are a number of other comparative mythologists out there, and a number of other scholars out there working from various disciplines you can find. But with my channel so far, I mean, you come take one of my college classes, and I can give you a bunch of sources, and we can really dig in deep. But with the YouTube channel, I'm just sort of kind of going off the surface there. Jordan Peterson's another one that I love, and he's on YouTube, and he's done a lot of great research with his map of meanings. That's a really good book that he originally wrote there. Really fascinating, and has a lot of good stuff like that in it too. So yeah, quite a few people out there to check into. If you're looking for people, I can show you some number of books. The Hero's Journey for Writers is a great book. Once and Future Myth is a great source. What's the other one that I was just looking at the other day? Monsters of the Id. That's another great book by another author. There's a lot of great sources out there. So yeah, check it out. Oh, you wanted to know whether I stem from anthropological or psychological base? Literary base, really, which is more aligned with psychological than anthropological. So more psychological, definitely. Psychoanalytic and psychoanalytic theory and stuff like that. But I'm always open for reading some more anthropology, people. Stay on there, TV. I think Wii's a little too modern for it, Al. It doesn't have that. But without much ado, let me try and turn this webcam around, and we will I'll check this out. Now there's tons and tons of games on this thing, so you guys are going to have to tell me which games you want me to look for. So I'm going to switch it on. We'll see the little thing. We'll run through and look at some of the different systems it has, and then we'll see. So let me try, and I've never done this with my webcam before. You're going to get a little glimpse of the professor's wallow stuff here. Let me actually, while I got it there, let me shut my door and just focus it on the TV here. 1 second. Okay, let's see if this works. I should have done a dry run of this before, but see, there's the Superman. There's my Hero Academia. I'm trying not to show my bed that's not made, but very cool. All right, zero in on the television there. This is where I do all of my rewatches, our Universal Monsters and all of that. So we'll see how that works. All right, let's switch this on. This is the box itself, very small, like I said. Small little thing. Let me see if it's better without this cam light. See if that I don't think that really does anything. Okay. We'll take it off. Yeah. All right. So we are should be loading up there. Let me make sure the input. Yep, input's right. All right. Why isn't it working? Did I unplug it by accident? I might have unplugged it by accident. Let me see. Oh. What? Oh, of course. Yeah. Right there. Nope. Why are you working? All this. Oh, there we go. Just took a while to load up. Okay. Turn that down a bit. Home arcade system. How cool is that? Casey Scott, boomer time. I'm looking at you, Casey Scott. Watching you. All right. So here we start out with the Atari. We start out with a bunch of different versions of it. Bunch of game systems I never even knew. We got the Game Gear. Remember the Sega Game Gear? The Game Boy. Game Boy Advanced. Game Boy Color. Don't know what Game & Watch is. And Television. Never really... Linux. That's the first Donkey Kong game I remember. Pauline there. Sega Master System. The Sega Genesis. There's a little earthworm gem there. Never knew Neo Geo, but that's the classic entertainment Nintendo box. Turbo Graphics, Doom. Let's see, Super Nintendo, the SNES. Now you could have gotten a bigger one too that had even more, but every game I could possibly want to play, I did. This one has. So, which system would you guys like to see first? Boomer awesomeness. All right, Sound Engraver says SNES. All right, that's the first one I see there. SNES. These are all the games for the SNES that it has. All right, so somebody shout out a SNES game. We've got, oh, look, Addams Family Values, Addams Family, Mighty Max. It's all alphabetized, so of course. Aladdin. It's got the cool Aladdin. That's sweet. I want to play that later. Animaniacs. That's just in the A's. I'm going down. Barbie Supermodel. I remember Angry Video Game Nerd, I think, did one. Look, Batman! It's got the original 1989 Batman game. Batman Revenge of the Joker, Batman Forever, Batman Returns. How freaking cool is that? I bet you the Nintendo one even has that on it too. That's awesome. All right, so we're doing SNES. Soundgraver says Mario RPG. What Mario is that? Is it just called Mario RPG? Yeah. Wolftown Media says Super Mario. Which Super Mario? Somebody tell me what it's called. Let me go back up. There's a lot. Yogi Bear's cartoon capers. Wow. There's the Knight Rider theme. Mario and the 7 Stars. Welcome, Arcade Burns, to Starfox. I'll look for Star Fox here in a second, too. Mario and the Mario All-Stars. Is that it? Mario Kart. It's got Mario. Oh, Legend of the 7 Stars. Is that it? Yeah, Mario RPG. That's what it says. Okay. Sorry, not following directions. Mario RPG. Let's take a look, shall we? And that's it. Whatever the 23rd game is, random. Well, from my understanding, this thing has a lot of flipping games on it. Hopefully, you guys can see that. Okay, it's a little weird. Maybe let me try to help you guys out here. See if this is better. Like an optometrist. Better here. Better here. Let me see. Yeah, that's a little better. Let me set the tripod there a little bit. Try not to knock it. How's that? Is that a little better for you guys? Or do you like the other angle better? It's kind of weird. You can't really see that. It doesn't look that dark or anything. But Wolftown Media says, thank you for the shout out to my stream today. Yeah, Wolftown Media did a stream today. I was just about to commute home from school, so I didn't get to stick around. But see if I can straighten that up a little bit. Oh, come on. Yep, that's pretty good, I think. Let me know if that works for you guys. Wall chicken, yeah, wall chicken. All right, and then it says so you can see better there. Good. All right, so let me go through all the demos here and let's see. Legend of the 7 Stars. Now I don't know. It's been so long since I played these old consoles. I don't know. Is that the graphics that you used to have? I know you guys can only see it really poorly on through a webcam. This is. I do need to see if I can get my my capture card to work with this. Oh, I get to sign in my name. Okay. I don't remember that. Prof. Whoops, not that. Why isn't I'm not doing any of this? Whoops. Okay. How about you hit the right button there, Boomer? Okay. Prof. Okay. Done. Let's get to the playing. Yeah, I'll try and hook up my capture card to this and see if it works better. Princess Peach hanging out. Uh-oh. Sonograver says, looks great. You mentioned you have a girlfriend. My congrats. Do you think she would be okay if I hung out with you on gaming day? This is awesome. I think I'm gonna want to be I think I'm gonna get some points for this, so I'm gonna want to be alone with her at first. You can come afterwards. There we go. Yeah, I check out Angry Video Game Nerd, Melissa. He's awesome. Yeah, I was talking about some of his reviews of these things. Yeah. All right, good. Everybody can see that pretty good. This game is really hard for many emulator boxes. Okay, it's well, you know, I've got just to show you again, arcade. Is that showing? I keep knocking the tripod. Let me show you here. This is the. It comes with a controller. That is an SNES controller. So I've never played it with different emulator boxes. This is my first one, but it's pretty good. You know, here we go. Walking through the door, checking it out. Now, uh-oh. Attack. Yes, attack. Okay. Nice. All right. Ah! Whoops. I forgot this is the turn-by-turn base, you know, for the RPGs. Yes, I want to attack. Get him, Mario. No, I don't think I ever played this game. I played a lot of the Mario games. I never played this one. Are you kidding me? Give me a break. Okay. Arcade Burn says, I have a few. I can build them for about $50 to $50. That's the thing. Like, if you know how to do it yourself, you can do this pretty cheaply. I probably paid, I forget, it's around 100-ish, I think, for all of the things preloaded. Everything, just taken care of, all the stickers, all the cool controllers, everything like that. I'm sure if I knew how to do it and I knew how to download all the games and, all that, I'm sure I could have saved a ton, but I just didn't know that and didn't really care to. So there's that music. Devil in the Detail says, boy, the only one of these I've ever played was Doom PC version. I have an Odyssey. Oh, okay. Button B is for defense when the enemy attacks. You time your attacks just right. Time your defense. Oh, okay. See, I'm new to this controller too because I'm used to my PS4 and Xbox. Okay, so I need to defend when they come at me. Got it. This is a brand new game to me, and takes a little bit of getting used to. Well, that's not good. All right, here we go. Now, the retro, you said, looks like on their site, a number of different sites and companies are selling this in different versions of it, Arcade Burn. So do look around if you're looking for one yourself. I can, like I said, I was a little nervous buying it. I thought, they're going to take my money. But they look like they were replying to customers who took, who had issues and stuff like that or whatever. Not issues, but questions. So I thought, okay, well, they got communication, so we'll see. Toadstool, don't let Bowser. Oh, it's just he's still Toadstool here. Prepare yourself for the great beyond. All right, I want to defense, I guess. Aha! Look at me defending. Now I want to attack. Yeah. Oh, didn't defend. The chain. Is the chain breaking? What's X? Item. I don't have any items. Special. Ooh, Bowser jump. Okay. Now I'll do defense. I don't, yeah, attack the chain. Oh, attack the chain. How do I attack the chain? Oh! Kinley. Oh, got it. Okay. Thank you, Sound Engraver. Yes, okay. She was trying to tell me. Toadstool's trying to tell me that. The chain. We'll see. After this, we'll try and play another game. Have to point to the chain. Yeah, I got it now. What a joke. Put some muscle into it. How many times do you have to hit that stupid chain? Am I going to die first? I'm hitting the chain, Toadstool. That's what I'm doing. All right, come on. Uh-oh, did that do it? Oh, there we go. The chain breaking. Time the attack or jump. See, I don't know how to time the attack. I don't know what you mean by that. I'll have to learn that. So, what's another game that you guys would like to see on the SNES? And then we'll move to a different, check our time here. Yeah, we got 9:30. Okay, we'll check our time here. It's a chain reaction, get it? Yeah, what's another SNES game you guys would like to do? And then we'll go to a different game system and check these things out. Because if you're like me, I know some of you apparently like, oh, I know about the raspberries, blah, 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 blah. That's all great, but I didn't. And so this is kind of a good little review video for you. Wolfton Media says it's nice that Sound Engraver is schooling Professor Geek on playing an OG game. I played these games way back in the day, and I've progressed on since then. You want to talk about Batman Arkham Asylum? I'm down with that. Or Arkham City or something, or Arkham Origins. Awesome. Let's see. If I want to get out of this and go back to that. There we go. Arcade Burns Another World. Is that a game? Is that a game? Another World? I've never heard of that one. Let me try it. Oh, you mean Super Mario World. Is that what you guys mean? Let me check Another World to see if that is a game first. Nope, just keep rolling. Oh, I do see another world. What is this? Never heard of this one. You play Lester, a young physics professor who suddenly finds himself in a strange alien world after a lightning strike. Okay, I'll give it a second. Give it a second. All right, cinematic adventure thing. Arcade Burn says interesting. Give it a second. We'll give it a minute, and then let's see if you guys want to do another. You know, if you guys are just really SNES fans, we can do that. Or if you have another game you'd like to try, game system, because this one's got a bunch of them packed on there. It's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Yes, let's go. Respond to the... There you go. Start. Arcade Burn says, I'll love it. We'll see. Netter says, do you have Zork? Is that for SNES or a different game system? I don't know what Zork is. I'm not sure. Oh, Wolf to Media, you completed Kashyyyk and Tatooine and Knights of the Old Republic. Sweet! Oh, man, you're in for such a great adventure. That is so cool. Yeah, that's good stuff. Oh, there's Star Wars arcade games on here. Sweet. Cool. All right, press B to continue. Yes, let's continue. Oh, am I supposed to play here or something? I don't get it. Oh, okay. Man, those graphics have come a long way. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Is this like... Wow, it's actually responding to my... Wow. This is trippy. This might cross my threshold for too low of graphics for me to be able to do anything with. What just happened to me? Oh man, this is weird. This is weird. All right, we'll give it one more go here. Then we're gonna have to try and play something different. All right, Troy wants to know, does it have Commodore? Let me see. Commodore 64. Oh, Zork is a Commodore 64. I don't know. Let me see. I don't think I saw Commodore on there, but let's see. I'll check for that here next. Let me get out of here. I'm gonna come back to another world, Arcade Burns. That's Arcade. Yeah, that's a little. I keep see your name, Arcade Burns. I keep wanting to say Arcade Fire, the old the old band. Let me see to get back to the thing. Go. Nope. How do I do that? Checking the instruction manual here. Nope. Pick game, load game, search. Continue, return. There we go. All right. Commodore. Atari, Coleco, Final Burns Alpha. I don't see Commodore, unfortunately. Let's try out the old original Nintendo, shall we? Game Gear is pretty cool. I remember having some Sonic games on Game Gear. Let's try the original Nintendo. Nintendo Entertainment System. All right, Nintendo Entertainment System. Let's see. Dungeons and Dragons. What's a good game on Nintendo Entertainment System that you guys can laugh at me trying to play? Oh, I wonder if it has the original Nintendo Batman. Was the Batman game on Nintendo, or was it just on Super Nintendo? Yeah, it's on here. Yeah, sweet. There's the Batman the video game. Yes, I'm so playing this. Awesome. Eat your heart out, fan man. I think he's still got the original game and the packaging and everything, actually, and possibly even does he have the Nintendo system? Does he have the Nintendo Entertainment System? I don't know. Yes, I will share the link. Troy, let me find that. Let's see. I think. Yeah, that's it. Let me get to the right. Oh, it's so cool! Look at that Batmobile. Retro box. They've got a few different ones. They've got a Genesis flashback one, an Atari. The retro box here. Let me click on that, and then I'll share the link. And again, you got know-how. I'm sure you can do it a lot cheaper, but here we go. There's the link. I think that's the link. Let me get my controls down. All right. punch, and jump. All right. Yeah. Take that. Whoa. Oh, I guess he did get me. That wasn't good. Off to such a great start. What is this thing? Diabolical. Okay, anything back here? Nothing back there. I just took you out. You shouldn't be there anymore. Ah! Okay, we'll see. Multimedia says I can never get. Oh, you don't shoot the Batman. I'm hitting the punch button instead of the shoot button, or the punch button instead of the jump button. Oh, I died. There's the Monarch Theater. Cool graphics. Multimedia says I can never get enough of you going giddy like an 8-year-old. It's so wholesome. No sarcasm or snark meant. None taken. None taken. Take that. Oh, you told me to take that. Okay. I do like that. Okay, I'm gonna stop embarrassing myself. Next game. I got a few more minutes. Got a game from maybe one more game. Do you guys want to keep it on the classic Nintendo Entertainment, or do you want to go back to the SNES? Ooh, Beetlejuice. Or do a Genesis or Game Gear? Bill and Ted. I remember Angry Video Game Nerds, Bill and Ted reviews. Apparently it's kind of weird. I think Wayne's World had a game. Let me see if it's got Wayne's World on it. You can use the left and right to click through a bit more. Wayne's World was kind of ridiculous. I think it was for... Was it for Nintendo or was it for... Yeah. No. Yep, there it is, Wayne's World. I think you use your guitar to save Garth or something like that. Werewolf, the Last Warrior. Cool stuff. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Get out of here. That's awesome. Oh, you know what I want to check? Sorry, guys. I'm gonna check on your things there in a second. But I really want to see if Sega Genesis has Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. I am gonna die if it has Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. That is so flipping cool. Pac-Man, blah blah blah. Oh my gosh, it has Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. I used to play this game. Oh, that is so freaking cool. That is so freaking cool. This just came in the mail today, like a couple hours ago. I just opened it and plugged it up. This is freaking awesome. Oh, this takes me back. This is memories. Sweet. Yes. Oh, had to start. Awesome. There's the car. This was such a cool game, especially you could get everybody dancing with you if you earned enough stars in your star bar. You could throw your hat, moonwalk around, taking people out. How freaking cool is that? Into the jukebox. Look at me. Oh my gosh, this takes me back. And you got to rescue the children, which I know, but just go with it. Yes. Yeah, look at that. Because I'm a boss. Let me see if I can do the gauge and do the dance for you, and then I'll because I can just sit here and play this forever. So, gotta open the doors, look for the children. All right, let me get some bunch. I think I got enough to do it now. Oh, I didn't do it with any of the thugs on the screen. If they were on the screen too, they'd be dancing right now with me. And then at the end of the dance, they all fall down dead. Because I'm Michael Jackson, Prince of Pop. Take that. Oh, this is so cool. Man, I am going to so not be remotely productive tonight. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll get out of here because I can just play this forever. Oh. All right. Let me get a few of them here and see if I got enough. Nope. You can throw the hat with it. I'm trying to get them to dance, but I got one more girl to find. All right, let me see if I can find the one more because I can't leave it undone. Already did that. Did that. Oh, I forgot that you can open up the windows too. Stupid cats. All right, let me try and open up the windows. Bam. See, when you run out of gauge, you can only punch. You can't, I need to find another child to build up the gauge. Oh, well. I think I'm going to be done because I can get out of here. I can spend forever on this. Did I check this door yet? Yep, there we go. Nice. Now there's what's his Bobo was his name? He leads you where you need to go. You need to go this way, and he'll go up, he'll point up and over or down and over. And now here's the boss fight. All right, I'll just do this so you can see all of the villains have to dance with me. There they are. Yeah. That's so awesome. Bam. How cool is that? All right. I will be here playing that forever. Okay. Back to I never played the Master Sega. I did the Sega Genesis, but this was cool. Has this got the original Donkey Kong? Because that is the picture from the one that I remember playing on a different little thing. Dragon Ball, Dragon Master, Double Dragon. I remember that. Donkey Kong. Is that the original Donkey Kong? The SNES has all the Donkey Kong countries, but yeah, this is it. This is the one I used to play, I believe. I think so. Cool. All right, I think this is if you guys have it, give me one more shout. If you already said one that you wanted me to, just re-say it again, and I'll do what I can here, and we'll go. Oh, I remember this. I had this on a little mini arcade game. I think my niece still has it. How high can you get? But is this when he was still called Jumpman, or is he Mario at this point? Bam. Bam. That's almost too easy. The only thing about this is unlike when you buy them on the Xbox, you don't get to rewind. That was pretty sweet. Oh no, he came down. All right, we're done. All right. Check for Arcade Moonwalker. I also recommend the D&D arcade game. It is Jumpman. Okay. Jumpman at this point. Power Up for Michael Jackson is Finding Kids. Seriously. Yes. This was before all that. At least it came to light anyway. I don't see just an arcade. I don't know, but it's cool stuff. Never played Moonwalker on stream. Too many jokes to write there. Yeah. Good stuff. All right, I think I could sit here and go at this forever. So I'm going to try to switch around my webcam back here. Let me. How do you? There's a way you're supposed to shut this down properly. Quit. Nope. Quit. There we go. Shut down system. Yes. All right. That was awesome. Maybe I'll try and figure out how I can. I think I can plug up my capture card just to the TV, and you guys can see a better picture. Didn't really think about that. So, all right. Sorry for the spin around and the. All right, now I got to fix all this again. There we go. Sort of ish, kind of. All right. So, uh, let me probably take a little break here in a second. Unless anybody has any last minute questions or things they want to throw out real quick before I go, and switch over and get Al in here for the book study and get our there we go. That's why that was weird. Okay, get things set up for Halloween tree. Uh, Game Boy, Donkey Kong. Oh, there's a Donkey Kong Game Boy. I didn't know that, Melissa Harris. What is 32X? Is that the name of the game or the name of the system, Arcade Burns? I could plug the HDMI cable from the PI to the capture card. Yeah, I'm sure there's a way to do that. I've just only ever used the capture card for the PS4 or the Xbox. So, Casey Scott said, thanks for showing this. It has Ken Griffey baseball on it. It's cool. Your dad will love this. Awesome. Cool. I'm glad. Well, tell your dad the prof sends his regards. Yeah, a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So that'll be awesome. Man, I can't believe it has Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. That is so cool because they did not put that on the. I was looking for it on the Genesis reissue they did. You know, they didn't put that on there. So very cool to actually have it. And yeah, so I guess an emulator, but it's pretty good. You know, the controls. I didn't sense any weirdness. You know, even I'd never played the Mario of the Seven Stars, but yeah, it was very responsive. You know, and you had to push the pad, you know, diagonally to move that way and everything like that, and it worked pretty well. So yeah, worked for me pretty well. So hopefully, Archie Burns says 32X is the name of the system. It was a plug-in for Genesis. Oh, okay. Urban versus the tumor they grew on the Sega Genesis to try and extend the life of the system. Okay. So did you see it there? Because I wasn't looking for it, but did it say Sega 32X? Because I scrolled through all the ones that they have on the menu there. There is a higher version that you can go. So I think maybe the higher version might have the Commodore or the other stuff. I compared them though. That you have to pay a little bit more for the higher version, and I didn't see anything that the higher version had that I desperately, you know, or that I even remembered honestly. So yeah, this one's got everything I could ever imagine wanting to play. Plenty, and it does. You can. There's the instructions. It's an emulator, so you can go in and take off games you don't want and go download more games you do like. If you know how to do that, I can figure it out if it really was that important to me. So, yeah, Archibald says it was on the screen. Okay, cool. Has some quirky games like Star Wars Arcade and Star Trek. Cool. Now, I know that Xbox has a lot of old games. Agent Boomer was telling me about Namco's old games that it has in there for purchase. And you can get, of course, you know, you guys saw the Sega games that I got there, as well as some of the old Disney games. The, you know, DuckTales, Rescue Rangers, all those ones. Yeah, good stuff. So, uh, all right, cool. Let's go ahead. It's 9:50. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put the screen back up. Take a little break. Grab more water. Get the setup here for Al. Get him in here, and then we'll go ahead and do our book study stream. So, we're Halloween Tree tonight, chapters 7 through 14. And I will just wing it. I mean, I've read it, I reread it and everything, but I didn't take notes or anything like that. So we'll see how it goes. There might not be as many readings of the prose as there was last time. I'll make sure I do that for the next time because that's when we finish out the Halloween tree. So that's what's going to happen here. And yep, I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, I am back, but Al is not yet. Al just messaged me. He said, "Oh, the computer needed to restart. Now it's updating, and he says 30%." He just texted me, "Kill me," because he's texting me with his either his phone or his Kindle. His stupid computer, dude. We did a whole like fun drive for you just to get yourself a new laptop. Come on, tight fist. Let's get that laptop fixed. Um, Welcome, Tom Spiegel. Tom Spiegel's with us. Eduardo M. I can't find most of the It book study videos. I think they're listed as private. Yes, they are. I took down a lot of those because those were back in the old days with the memes and everything, and it got way out of hand. Eventually, I need to go back in and just edit them, but that takes a lot of time going through and editing and cutting out this part and that part and that part and everything like that. I will. I'll try and get to it for you. I like the people are interested in hearing because we did do a good study of it. I think. So yeah, I just need to get the time to go back in and do that. But glad to see the interest. Yes, Al's PC messing up, nothing new. That's right. Whatever boomer things you guys say I do, nothing compared to Al's laptop. Arcade Burns for $2. Script is done. Artist is raring to go. So exciting. Cool. So your own comic that you're working on? Awesome. Excellent. Very cool. Eduardo, I just finished the book and looking forward to it. Get it? Yeah, I'm glad you finished the book. The book's really good. There's a couple things in it that I thought, I wish it was this or that, but it's very profound. I don't like horror. I'm not a horror guy, but man, sometimes Stephen King just taps into the primal or fairy tale essence as he did with that book. And I really love it. A couple things at the end I wish he would have done differently. I didn't like the thing about them not remembering each other. Thought that was kind of dumb. But I really like that. It's a good book. Good book. So congratulations to Arcade Burns there. Very good to see that. Al says a few moments. Come on, Al. Like his message, kill me. Oh man. Yes, we are going to watch the animated version. So here's how the schedule is going to go. I'll just go over that while Al's being Al of this computer. We are going to so we're going to do up to chapter 14 tonight of Halloween Tree, and then we're going to finish it out next Thursday. Next Thursday we'll finish out the Halloween Tree. And then that brings us into the 1 week there that is before Halloween. On that Tuesday, because we'll finish out our Tuesday night classics with the Universal Monsters, we'll finish out with the Wolfman next week. So that week before Halloween, the Tuesday, we're going to watch the animated version of the Halloween Tree. Leonard Nimoy doing Mound Shroud and Ray Bradbury narrating and all that great stuff. And it'll be fun. Then on Thursday, when we would normally be doing a book study, we're going to talk about Legend of Sleepy Hollow, the short story by Washington Irving, maybe talk a little bit about the Robbie Burns poem it was based on and such. But then we're going to watch together the Disney's classic version of Sleepy Hollow, the second half of the adventures of Mr. Toad and Ichabod, or Ichabod and Mr. Toad, however it's called, on Disney Plus. You can find it. We'll just get you give everybody a timestamp, halfway into it when Bing Crosby takes over the narration, and we go through the cool Legend of Sleepy Hollow story. So yeah, we're going to rewatch that together that Thursday. So that'll be our last hoorah celebration for Halloween. Very cool. Come on, Al. What you doing? Eduardo M said they're having nightmares for a bit now because of it. Wow, that's creepy. Yeah. Pennywise is a creepy dude. Wolfton Media says, had a boomer moment in my own stream earlier. Now I will listen while I play Republic Commando Star Wars. Cool. Eduardo M says, who are your favorite literary critics? None, really. I don't like literary critics. I don't appreciate critics. Yeah, just don't get into it. I had to suffer enough under all that kind of stuff in grad school. I mean, Poe, I guess you could say, is a literary critic. If you're talking about like that, going back that far, that's kind of cool. But no, I'm not into like modern academic writing. My goodness, I was tortured enough with that. All right, well, I don't see Al in here yet, and who knows how long it'll be for him to get in here. He says a few moments, but we'll see. I might just go ahead and start talking about the book, and I'll keep an eye on the backstage. So let's see where we wrapped up. Of course, he picks the night that I didn't prepare to leave me hanging. All right, so we wrapped up. The boys had just discovered Mounshroud's, the haunted house there that Pipkin told them to go to. Remember, Pipkin is he's a character in the book, but he's also sort of the spirit of boyhood, and he's ill. He's ill when they go see. Why aren't you coming out trick or treating with us? It's Halloween night, and he says, "I'll be there. Just go to this haunted house, that I found. I'll meet you there." The boys go. They ring the door. Mounshroud comes to the door. He says, "No treats, trick." He gives them a trick, and the Halloween tree, beside the house lights up, and it's hanging jack-o'-lanterns all over it, lit with candles. And then he rises up out of the pile of leaves with the mask on and scares them. And then they're all laughing, whatever. They know it was a trick. Then Pipkin ran out to them, just catching everybody up. Pipkin ran out to them with his jack-o'-lantern, but the light goes out, and he falls into the ravine, and this shadow kind of carries him off. And he's screaming, for help, or come get me, and everything like that. And Mounshroud says death took him, but just borrowed him. And Mounshroud wants to show the boys the undiscovered country, to show them the meaning and the spirit behind Halloween. And he says, if you come with me, I'll show you that, and we'll try and save Pipkin, and we can save him, at the same time. We'll save his candy corn soul yet. I think Bradbury wrote it. It was so great. So they said, yeah, we'll do that. And he said, quick, follow me. And they go to the barn. And there's this old dilapidated barn next to the old house. And he says, peel off these old circus posters. So they start peeling off the circus posters. He says to make a kite out of them. So that's what's happening. That's where we pick up here with chapter 7. So they go and they start ripping strips of these posters off. And I love what happens here because, well, let me get into it here. They blinked, they ran, they scratched with fingernails, they plucked with hands. Again, look at the sentence lengths and how Bradbury writes poetry with sentence lengths. Now, sometimes in this book, he does rhyme. Sometimes in the book, it is a proper kind of sing-songy poem, but he's even with the sentence, the lengths and everything, the structures, they blinked, they ran, they scratched with fingernails, they plucked with hands, they seized off strips and patches and huge rolls of animal flesh, of fang and piercing eye, of wounded flank, of rutted claw, of tail, of bound and leap and cry. The whole side of the barn was an ancient parade stopped dead. They tore asunder, and with each tear they pulled off talon, tongue, or ravening feline eye. Beneath weighted layer upon layer of jungle nightmare, delicious encounters with polar bears, panicked zebras, milling pride of lions, charging rhinos, clambering gorillas, which pawed up the side of midnight and swung toward dawn. Ah! Go, Bradbury! That's so freaking cool! Sorry. His fangirl out. All right, let me bring my trusty TA in here. Tardy as usual.
God, be nice. Be nice, Al. Be nice to the universe.
Hi, Al.
Nothing's funner than when you're doing a reboot. Things froze up a little. It's like, I got plenty of time. And I get the little working on your updates. This may take a while.
This may take a while. Great.
Not like it's slow anyway, but it's even like to go through everything. And, I mean, literally, you were still playing the video game when all this was going on.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and I was all set to come in here and go, ee-hee. But,
from Michael Jackson's Moonwalker.
Did you start? You're muted. You're muted.
Yeah.
There you
go. I had to unmute myself. Yeah. No, I just started. We're just talking about them building the kite. And I see.
Oh, okay.
I just mentioned that he's taking them off to the undiscovered country. Troy Pacelli says, is this story's use of the undiscovered country the same as the Bard's meaning of the same thing? Yes, it is. This is death. Although where he takes them, it's kind of a weird fantasy-like Wonderland kind of walk through history and history of death at different points throughout Western culture anyway.
It's almost like the Wonkatania.
Yeah. Something like that. All right, so I was reading a little bit about them making this kite, and I love this idea. They keep bringing him scraps of turn your mic down just a little bit, or your headphones down just a little bit. I'm hearing myself echo
Oh.
a second.
Yeah.
They keep handing him scraps, and he keeps fusing them together with his hands, like sparks coming out of his hands, so he's definitely something weird about him, they know. But just read this paragraph. They had never seen such things or known that men such as Moundshroud, with a pinch, a clutch, a pressure of fingers, might blend an eye with tooth, a tooth with mouth, a mouth with feline bobcat tail. All mingled beautifully into a single thing, a wild jigsaw puzzle, jungle zoo, billowed and trapped, pasted and tied, growing, taking color and sound and pattern in the light of the ascending moon. Now another cannibal eye, now another hungry maw, a mad chimpanzee, a most insane mandrill ape, a screaming butcher bird. The boys ran up with the last frights handed over, the kite finished, the ancient flesh laid out, fused by the still blue smoking, bluing horny hands. Not like that. Mr. Moundshroud lit a cigar with the last bit of fire that sparked out of his thumb and smiled. And the light from his smile showed that the kite for what it was, a kite of destructions, of animals so dire and fierce, their outcry drowned the wince and murdered the heart. Drowned the wind and murdered the heart. Love that kind of language. And he uses words like that, like murdered the heart and Moundshroud's evil smile. Remember that he's writing this from the perspective of boys. So it's, what is cool on Halloween? Oh, evil, dark. He doesn't really mean actual evil. There's nothing demonic about Moundshroud or anything like that. It's just this, this boyhood realm, this dream. Mm-hmm. And what about to finish the kite? What do they need to add to it, Al? You remember?
Hey, they need a tail.
They need a tail.
And boy, do they get an interesting one.
They do. What do they get?
Every boy has to grab a hold of the next one, and I think Tom's first, right?
Yeah, Tom's first. Tom's earlier.
It starts, and then kind of like each one kind of clutches on. As each one, so you're like picturing this kite flying with all these kids just hanging onto it, and like almost as a reference, I think of the Goonies poster.
Oh, I never thought about that. Yeah,
you know how the Goonies, when they're each one's hanging onto the other.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm thinking, poor Tom. I mean, it has to be mystical because there's no way he can hold on to all those kids with his own weight. So there has to be a magical essence about it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there's something magical, as it is with all of their travelings to each of the different places they go to.
Mm-hmm.
But they've made this amalgamation of a kite, and I read the description of it. And I want us to remember that it's this big chimera-like amalgamation of all of these animal fangs, eyes, jaws, all these kinds of things. The circus.
They're all, but they're also all like evil, like prey,
predatory animals,
flesh wrenchers, teeth, claw, all that, exactly. all the nasty bits.
Yeah. And where do they go first? Where does Mr. Moundshroud take us?
They go to Egypt, right?
Yeah, chapter 8. The first place we go is ancient Egypt. The Valley of the Kings there, the tombs, and they Moundshroud, they land. The kite itself dissipates, just falls apart as soon as they land in the desert there. And what's that?
There's one piece, and I hope this is in the movie, when the one dressed as Death is like running with the scythe.
Yeah, and he drops the scythe, and Moundshroud like, hand it to him.
And I'm thinking, no, and then Moundshroud uses it to fly. That's what he uses to fly.
He gives it back to him eventually, though.
Did they? Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah. So chapter 8 brings us to Egypt. Once they arrive there, Moundshroud bounds off inside of a tomb, telling them to come along. And I love how the voice from the tomb is calling them. Yes, you come. All of you come. You come next. You come next. Come, and calling them down to this dark Egyptian tomb. Obviously pretty creepy. As they get there, they end up they realize that ancient Egypt, it's still they realize they're back in time because it's all new.
Yeah, everything I was going to say is like, before they go down in the tomb, they see like everything brand new. I mean, if anybody knows the pyramids, what they look like now, but what they look like then, they were like all finished, smooth, little gold tip at the top. And they were beautiful. They must have looked absolutely magnificent.
Oh yeah,
in
sheen with gold.
reality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And the Sphinx with its nose and all of that.
Yeah. So with its nose, and although there is that theory that the Sphinx initially was just a big lion, and they carved
Mhm.
the head from another carving.
I love this, the way Bradbury says it. And sure enough, the Egypt that lay below was ancient sand, but new cut stone. The Sphinx, with its great lion paws, treaded out on the golden tufts of desert, with sharp cut and freshly born out of the womb of stone mountains. It was a vast pup in the bright and empty glare of noon. If the sun had fallen and lay between its paws, it would have cuffed it like a fireball toy. That is so awesome. The pyramids. All right, so Mount Shroud runs into the tomb. I love this. Oh, this is so. Oh, Bradbury, you and your prose. The boys leaned into the shadows like a dry river bottom. The corridors led down to deep vaults where lay the linen-wrapped dead. Dust's fountains echoed and played in strange courtyards a mile below. The boys ached, listening. The tomb breathed out a sick exhalation of paprika, cinnamon, and powdered camel dung. Somewhere a mummy dreamed, coughed in its sleep, unraveled a bandage, twisted its dusty tongue, and turned over for another 1,000-year snooze. "Mr. Moundshroud," called Tom Skelton, and from the deep and the dry earth a lost voice whispered, "Moundshroud." You can hear that echo coming back, and it gets to the name Moundshroud, which is a shroud over a coffin. So it's really highlighting that. They eventually follow. They eventually go down in there. And they start to see as they're going down in there, they see the paintings on the wall and they see the story that the paintings tell. And do you remember the lesson that they learn? What story is told on the walls?
It was what the story of Osiris?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Osiris,
Okay.
the Egyptian god of the sun, and the sun, of course, he was slain by his brother, and then Isis has to go find him and sort of he gets sort of a reincarnation or a resurrection.
But is this the one which she had to find all his pieces, put them back together again?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Now it doesn't go that far into this one.
I was just trying to remember the actual legend though, because there's also one piece you couldn't find.
Yeah. But I like the way the boys, in there. How old were they again? How do you remember? 10 years old or?
I'm thinking 13, wasn't it?
13? Is that what it was? 12 or something like
12?
that?
Yeah, I forget how old. They said how old one of them was, and I want to say 13, 12, maybe.
And the wonderful connection that it makes. So they're going down here. Tom is the one to think it. Yeah, thought Tom, running. Sure. I mean, I think every night the sun dies, going to sleep. I wonder, will it come back tomorrow morning? Will it stay dead? The boys ran on, new pillars, this, that. Swell, thought Tom. That's at sunrise. But just as quickly, the sun was murdered again. On each pillar, they raced by. The sun died in autumn and was buried in cold winter. Middle of December, thought Tom. I often think the sun will never come back. Winter will go on forever. This time, the sun is really dead. But as the boys slowed at the end of the long corridor, the sun was reborn. So he takes them back to ancient Egypt to get to this idea, and he even talks to them about primal man here in a little bit. But the idea of ancient man not knowing anything about science, or will the sun come back? Or does it come back in the morning? What happens to it? And they created these stories about gods and Apollo or all that kind of stuff. And then the seasons as well. In the dead of winter, will the sun come back? So there's a death. This is the first death and the first celebration of life and death that Moundshroud introduces them to teach them about what Halloween, the spirit of Halloween.
But you're talking about creating like the gods to, that's what they had to do. They had to explain, well, somebody is surely doing this.
Mm-hmm.
It just wasn't happening out of some design of whatever. Helios is doing this and Apollo's doing that. And, then of course the Egyptians had different set of gods. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they call them down, and I like each of the boys' costumes. Remember, we had, in fact, in this edition, you've even got some of they're depicted on the cover. You see the one dressed as the witch, the hobo, the ape, Tom Skelton there. One of these is Death, and one of them is a gargoyle and mummy. It makes it look like a skull, but it's actually them standing. It's a cool little picture within a picture, kind of thing. But each of the boys' costumes does correlate with one of the places they go throughout the book, which is pretty sweet. And this one is the mummy. The mummy is here to correlate with this. Sound Engraver says, I love the way Bradbury depicts going back in time, the waxing and waning of the moon, first like blinking, then the motion is too fast to see. You're right. So it's like stop motion. They see it, as time speeds up.
Time machine.
Yes.
How they did the time machine.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So Troy, the Halloween Tree rewatch will be extending your time travel theme in series. So the Mound Shroud ends up being a mummy. He calls them forth and they help him out of the bandages. He's showing them death, right? And as they're there, he says, hide, because some Egyptians are carrying another coffin down the tomb. And they hide and they see it's a little boy's coffin. And they look at the mask and they see that it's very much like Pipkin. And he says, well, maybe this is as Pipkin was so many lifetimes ago or whatever. But they learn a little bit about how ancient Egyptians buried, and putting all the toys there and the food there in case the soul wakes up later and so forth, all their beliefs about. And basically what this is the same thing with the gods of the sun and stories about Osiris being slain, but then being resurrected, the sun god idea is that how can we find and celebrate the return of life even in the midst of death? So when somebody died and they buried them, the Egyptian tomb, they would put things there that signified their hope of the souls living on, and this is the kind of theme we'll see throughout this, the life within death or the life on the other side of death or something like that. The Mount Shroud keeps showing them. They try to save Pipkin, but he ends up flying off again. They're too late.
Pipkin actually starts saying, yes, it is me under here.
Yeah.
Under the wrappings, can't move, can't yell, can't fight free.
Yeah, Pipkin's calling for them to help. And he does this at each place they go to, yeah. On the walls, I think they see more pictures. The wall behind the prehistoric drawings of the cavemen. So the prehistoric drawings on the wall behind the Egyptian ones is what they're seeing. Lightning struck, saber-toothed tigers caught the cavemen screaming, tar pits drowned their bones, they sank wailing. Wait, let's save a few with fire. Mound Shroud blinked. Lightning struck to burn forests. One ape man, so now we get to the ape man's costume, the boy dressed as the ape man, running, seized a burning branch and rammed it in a saber-tooth's jaws. The tiger shrieked and fell away. The ape man, snorting in triumph, tossed the fiery branch into a pile of autumn leaves in his cave. Other men came to hold their hands out to the fire, laughing at the night where the yellow beast eyes waited afraid. See, boys, Mound Shroud's face flickered with fire. The day of the long cold are done because of this one brave, new-thinking man. Summer lives in the winter cave. And I love that idea. Again, life within the death, warmth within the cold. Now you have time to think of where you came from, where you're going. And the fire lights the way, boys. Fire and lightning. Morning stars to gaze at. Fire in your own cave to protect you. Only by night, fires was the caveman beastman able at last to turn to his own thoughts on a spit and baste them with wonder. The sun died in the sky. Winter came on like a great white beast, shaking its fur, burying him. Would spring ever come back to the world? Would the sun be reborn the next year or stay murdered? Egyptians asked it. Caveman asked it 1,000,000 years before. Will the sun rise? I'm trying to get to the point where he talks about, I can't find it right. Yeah, Halloween indeed, 1,000,000 years ago in a cave in autumn with ghosts inside heads and the sun lost. Talks about ghosts being the memories and the things they think of inside the cave at night by firelight. Beautiful, beautiful. So we've gone through to ancient Egypt, and then they see the visions of the ancient cavemen. Now they're on a pyramid, and they have to run up to the top of the pyramid to catch Pipkin. They reach the top, but they can't. Mound Shroud hooted his delight. There it is, boys. The soul and flesh of Halloween. There's this spyglass. I forget what it's called here. A
gigantic eye.
Yeah. The eye there. But they look through it and they see down the Mediterranean. They see the Festival of the Dead in Greece. They go through and because he has to wrap it up. He can't look at the whole history of the Western culture. So we got a little pacing. That gets through there. The feasts of pots, trick or treat old style, but tricks from the dead if you don't feed them. So treats are laid out in the banquets on the sill, old traditions. The Grecian Isles, doors slammed, the temples shutting tight, said Mound Shroud. Every holy place in Greece will be double locked this night. And look, Ralph, who was a mommy, swung the crystal lens. The light flared over the boy's mask. Those people. Why are they painting black molasses on their front doorposts? Pitch, corrected Moundshroud. Black tar to glue the ghosts, stick them fast so they can't get inside. So it goes through all of these traditions and whatnot. And then eventually it's time to. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I love old traditions, old wives' tales, and things like that. I love it.
And that's where the jack-o'-lantern came from, right? To scare away the ghosts, Yeah.
Also, I think it was originally it was a turnip or something. I think at one time.
Yeah, I think it was.
Guy was trying to light the guy named Jack. I think he had tricked the devil or something, or needed a light, and he carved it. Got to look that one up.
There are folk tales. Yeah, there are folk tales around it.
Lots of folk tales around it.
Yeah. Now, so they look down the Mediterranean and get kind of a survey course of Halloween throughout the different cultures and years there. But now we're about to move to our next location in time. He says, now Italy, Rome, Moundshroud turned the lens to see Roman centuries where people placed food on graves and hurried off. The wind whipped Moundshroud's cape. It hollowed his mouth. All right, so now he's about to fly off, and we'll look at how he flies there. But now let's correlate. Let's go back to that kite that they made. We're going to see that there's a correlation between how they get to each time period and what that time period is. So they go to ancient Egypt. They fly there on a kite filled with an amalgamation of different animal types. And they go to Egypt, whose gods of the underworld are half alligator, half human, half hawk, half snake, half cat, and all that bass. And I forget the what's the god? Is it Anubis? Yeah, Anubis with the jackal head. Yeah,
Anubis. Yeah,
the jackal head and the alligator. I forget which one. The crocodile, not alligator. The crocodile god. Which one is the crocodile god that helps in the crossing over too? I forget.
Is that Set?
No, Set's a serpent. I thought. Maybe, I don't know. I'm wrong. I need to go back and look that up. Maybe some people in chat know. Yeah. But I love that concept. So there's a correlation between that and then now we're going to see how he goes to Italy. Green Lion Girl says, reminds me of King Tut. Yeah. I mean, this is all the mummy movies you've ever seen. Definitely. Alondro77. Welcome, Alondro77. Don't know if I've seen you here before. Fire is our friend. Sets himself on fire. Now I'm protected. Yeah, he said it was a carved turnip. Yeah. Also rutabagas. Yeah. Okay. Sound Engraver says the painting of the doors with molasses totally reminded me of the first Passover with the angel of the Lord and the death of the firstborn Egyptians. Absolutely. That story itself is it's not Halloween. It's a different time of year, but it's the same idea of life within death, and finding the hope and everything like that. Absolutely. Yeah. Troy says, Al, you should get going. You were spot on. The guy named Jack tricked the devil twice, and after the second time, he could not die because the devil wouldn't take him. Doomed to stalk the night. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like it to have a turnip right about now. I like turnips. I used to go out in my uncle's garden, pick out a turnip, just peel it, a little bit of salt I brought with me, eat it right there.
I want a pumpkin pie myself, but that's just
I'll take that too.
The wind whipped, so they're off to Italy now, off to Rome. Moundshroud's cape, it hollowed his mouth. Oh, autumn winds that bake and burn, and all the world to darkness turn. Now storm and seize and make of me a swarm of leaves from autumn's tree. So he just basically dissipates into this big swarm of leaves. I love the prose too in between that. He kicked, jumped straight up in the air. The boys yelled delight, even as his clothes, cape, hair, skin, body, corn candy bones tore apart before their eyes. The wind ribboned him to confetti, a million autumn leaves, gold, brown, red as blood, rust, all wild, rustling, simmering, a clutch of oak and maple leaf, a hickory leaf downfall, a toss of flaking whisper, murmur, rustle in the dark river creek sky. What a sentence.
But I also like the leaves burn, change, turn, the imagery of fire, because the leaves are all the colors of fire.
Exactly. Yeah, destruction, right? But light, but beauty from death, which is what fall is, and the leaves changing. So not one kite, but 10,000 tiny little ones, and then they themselves are kind of borne up by these leaves and flying along. So leaves flying along, and they see the Mediterranean coast. Up now fly. They learned that Halloween at that time of year was a Happy New Year for many times and stuff like that. But they end up in the British Isles. The British Isles, whispered Moundshroud. Would you cock an eye at England's own druid god of the dead? We would. Quiet as milkweed then, soft as snow, fall, blow away down, each and all. The boys fell like a bushel of chestnuts, their feet rained to the earth. Love that. That's that image. You can hear the the way they fall. Really cool. So this is pretty creepy. They're there, and suddenly they see Samhain, the druid god of the dead. And I love at one point, they how's this? Where is it? Blades went down. Yeah, okay. So the blade, they see this for towering 40 feet above them in the sky, an immense scythe in his hands was this cowled figure, its face in midnight fogs, kind of where we get our Grim Reaper image from. The blade swung down. Hiss! Mr. Moundshroud, let us be! Shut up! Someone knocked Tom's elbow. Mr. Moundshroud lay on the earth beside him. That's not me. I love that. I remember the first time I read this, I was like, oh my gosh, shut up. And Samhain's pretty creepy and pretty freaky here. And he turns all the souls of the people who died that year into beasts as punishment for their sins until the druids offer prayers and sacrifices for their sake, and they appease the druid god there, So what I love about this is Bradbury himself never came out and identified as Christian necessarily, but he, we talked about it when we read Something Wicked This Way Comes. He's just very much Christian with all of his ideologies, or not ideologies, but beliefs and themes that he puts in his work. But I like in this how he's not going to Bible stories necessarily, but he's still pointing out the similarities throughout history. So we have here priests offering sacrifices for they're interceding for sinners, which is something very common to different religions, obviously ultimately in Christianity, and a sacrifice made for atonement. And Pipkin, of course, is one of the animals that gets changed. He gets changed to a dog, I believe, right?
I think so.
Yeah. But then the druids appease him. I'm skipping ahead a little bit, unless there's anything you want to.
It is a very. I like the visuals that it gives, the imagery of it all.
Yeah,
of Samhain and the heads falling and turning into different creatures, and
yeah, absolutely. Then we have so Samhain is about to fly back up. He's appeased now. He kind of shrugs. He's appeased by the sacrifice. He leaves the dead souls be. Lets them turn back. Off to heaven. They rise up to heaven. Cried the druid peace. Go, oh free, go. They flew. Samhain, god of the dead, shrugged and let them go. Then just as suddenly he stiffened, as did the hidden boys and Mr. Moundshroud crouched in the rocks. Through a valley and across the hill ran an army of Roman soldiers, a troop on the double. Their leader ran before them, shouting, "Soldiers of Rome, destroy the pagans, destroy the unholy religion." Saturninus so orders. For Saturninus, Samhain in the sky raised his scythe too late. The soldiers slammed swords and axes into the bases of the holy druid oaks. Samhain shrieked in pain as if the axes had chopped his knees. The holy trees groaned, whistled, and with the final chop thundered to earth. Samhain trembled in the high air. The druid priests fleeing stopped and shuddered. Trees fell. The priests chopped at the ankles. The knees fell. They were blown over like oaks in a hurricane. So the Romans are there now. And the Romans bring their own Roman religion. Even before the Rome became Christian, they would still call every religion outside of Rome pagan. So this is before. Right. This isn't Catholic Rome. This is old pagan Rome at this point.
But I love the fact. But that's exactly what they would do. Is they would go in and destroy the holy pagan
shrines,
places. Yeah, shrines, which was mainly large oaks or holy groves and things like that.
Yeah. And at this point, though, he dropped with a roar that shook. Okay, so the Romans take over. Silence, a smoldering of fires, a blowing leaves. Instantly, the sun went down. The soldiers lit new fires and burned incense before golden idols, which they set in place. But no sooner lit than a star shone in the east on a far desert sands to camels' bells. 3 wise men moved. The Roman soldiers lifted their bronze shields against the glare of the star in the sky, but their shields melted. The Roman idols melted and became shapes of Mary and her son. The soldiers' armor melted, dripped, changed. They were dressed now in the garments of priests who sang Latin before newer altars, even as Moundshroud, crouched squinting, weighed the scene and whispered to his small-massed friends, "Aye, boys, see, gods following gods. The Romans cut the Druids, their oaks, their god of the dead, bang, down, and put in their own gods, eh? Now the Christians run and cut the Romans down. New altars, boys, new incense, new names." And Bradbury's trying to get the idea of the similarities between, not that he's saying, he's not making any commentary on religion, but he's trying to get to the idea that every belief system has always had this need to find the light in the darkness, has had this need to find where's the hope within death, where's the life within death. And that's what he's ultimately going to tie up Halloween about in the end, you know?
Yeah, I got the impression it wasn't a commentary on the belief system itself, but on each belief system's method of the time of year and what it meant to the different ones. And
they end up
but the way he describes the Romans taking down the ancient pagans and then the Christianity coming in, I just love how it's being presented to the boys.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see the movie. I hope it's as well done in the movie.
Yeah.
When we watch it.
They changed some things, to alter it up for a Hanna-Barbera cartoon, but a lot of it's really, really cool and well done. So it's good stuff. The time is speeding up at this point, because they see, obviously Christianity come right on the heels of Rome. It's kind of a fantasy like vision that they're seeing. Suddenly, wind blew the altar candles out in darkness. He says, now it's the Dark Ages, which always bothers me because the Dark Ages were never dark. The medieval times always bugs me when, ever since the Enlightenment, especially, there's always this privileging of the Renaissance, which was a wonderful, wonderful time. But they always they skip over the Dark Ages in Western Civ classes and pretend nothing at all happened there. Universities weren't going on. I mean, the church, you got St. Augustine, St. Thomas Aquinas, all these wonderful scholars and scholastics and universities taking hold. Yeah, nothing happened in the Dark Ages at all. It's so ridiculous. But this is he's writing in the 73 and he's going on what the history was at that time. And suddenly these brooms show up. And take them away. These brooms, it's kind of random, but brooms, muttered Moundshroud, the gathering of the brooms, the October Broom Festival, the annual migration. To where? Asked Tom, calling up, for everyone was making traffic on the air now and whisking shrieks. The broom works, of course. Help, I'm flying, said Henry Hake. Whisk, a broom whistled him away. A great brambly cat flashed by Tom's cheek. He felt a wooden pole between his legs. Jump up. Ouch. Hang on, said Moundshroud. When attacked by a broom, only one thing to do, hold tight. I'm holding, cried Tom, and flew away.
I'm having Harry Potter flashbacks.
Yeah, right, yeah. So that transitions us to the last chapter we're going to talk about tonight, chapter 14. But these brooms take them and sweep them away. I see them tagged here. Back to the drawing board. It says the Dark Ages were dark because the Italians hadn't discovered the Renaissance yet. Yeah, that's what they'll tell you. Nothing ever happened. Nothing ever happened until, thank goodness for the Renaissance. And I love the Renaissance. Renaissance, what a wonderful time. But the medieval times were wonderful. So many great things happened in those times. All right, so they're on the brooms. The brooms eventually land and pretty much die. They're no longer there. It's clear that the brooms are no longer going to carry them any farther. But as they're flying, they sweet thrashers. Where am I going to go here? They were punished severely for occupying heaven. Wash line, prop holes in the world. There came swatches of grass, clumps of weed, brambles of bush to herd, sheep clouds, cleanse the stars, and ride, boys. I love this. Hey, I got a bloody nose, gasped Tom, happily looking at the red on his fingers. Such a boyhood thing, Cool, look what I got, bloody nose. Shucks, cried Pipkin, going into a cloud, dry and coming out wet. That's nothing. I got one eye shut, one ear bad, and lost a tooth. Such boys trying to outdo each other with their wounds and whatnot. And Pipkin keeps saying, Pipkin called Tom, don't keep telling us to meet you and then don't tell us where. In the air, said Pipkin as he flies off on his broom. So they're constantly behind Pipkin trying to find him. As they're flying there, Forever's Bay towards the turning down, ruminating, trying to get to the witches.
Yeah, but while you're looking for that, I just loved what Henry Hank is like. There's 2,100,000,099,000,000 acres of air wrapped around the earth. Which acre does Pip mean?
I know, in the air. What kind of that? What is that direction? All right, so they find witches, a gathering of witches. These witches on the run. Henry Hank is the one dressed as a witch. Those are witches. Dry clean my soul and hang it out to dry if you're not right, boy, agreed Moundshroud. Are they real? I mean, I always thought real, Moundshroud insulted, almost fell off of his bramblecat broom. Ye little gods and fishes, lad, every town has its resident witch. Every town hides some old Greek pagan priest, some Roman worshiper of tiny gods who ran up the roads, hid in culverts, sank in caves to escape the Christians. In every tiny village, boy, and every scrubby farm, the old religious hide out. You saw the Druids cut and chopped, hey? They hid from the Romans, and now the Romans who fed Christians to lions run themselves to hide. So all the little lollylagging cults, all flavors and types, scramble to survive. See how they run, boys. And then they ask a question. Well, are they witches? Can they, do they have cauldrons? Do they, can they change people into the dead? Do they hide demons in doornails and all this kind of stuff? No, said Moundshroud. Jump up devils? No. No. Ride broomsticks? Nope. Put sneezing spells on people? Sorry. Kill folks by sticking pins in dolls? No. Well, heck, what could they do? Nothing. Nothing, cried all the boys affronted. Oh, they thought they could, boys. Moundshroud led the team down on their brooms, and now they're landing. And he says, stop and think, what does the word witch truly mean? And they think about it. Wits, said Moundshroud, intelligence. That's all it means, knowledge. So any man or woman with half a brain and with inclinations towards learning had his wits about him, hey? And so anyone too smart who didn't watch out was called a witch, said everyone. So he's getting at the idea of witch hunts, which certainly happened. And anybody who didn't follow suit with the whatever religion, whatever the village's flavor of Christianity, whatever denomination or religion they had of it, could easily be seen as the outsiders of the witch. Obviously, the word witch is a very flexible term nowadays. It can even there's Wiccan, which is an actual pagan religion that still surfaces around today. There's some some devil worship, like the actual official Church of Satan, I don't think calls themselves witches, but witch can mean a number of different things. And of course, there's the mythologized witch. In my American Ghost Stories class, when we get to Hawthorne, and we do talk a little bit about the witch trials, because Hawthorne changed his name to Hawthorne. His name was Hathorne, but he felt there was a generational curse because his great-grandfather or great-great-grandfather, whatever, was Judge Hathorne from the Crucible, the actual one of the judges that was involved in the Salem witch trial. So he put a W in his name and changed it to Hawthorne to distance himself from that. So we talk about witches and everything, and I'll tell the class and I'll say, describe to me a witch, just the stereotypical fairy tale witch. What do they look like? And I'll draw what they describe on the chalkboard. So they'll say, pointy hat. And I'll go, okay, pointy hat, black hat. And they'll say long black robe, and eventually I'll ask for specifics and we'll get to the shoes, and the shoes will have little buckles on them and everything. I say, okay, now describe to me
the big nose with the mole on
it. Yeah, all of that. And then I'll say, now describe to me a pilgrim from the Salem witch trials. And they say, and it takes them a while, but eventually they get, a big hat, a big black hat. And then we right down to the buckles on the shoes. And I say, isn't that ironic that the pilgrims, the Puritans who fought so much against the witches, are forever likened to witches, now in history. I always thought that was amusing, but apparently I'm the only one here among the two of us, so never mind.
I was smiling greatly.
We can't hear a smile.
I didn't want to interrupt your story.
So they see these witches, and he talks about, this, that. I'm trying to figure out where to go here from this. Did witches feel the night wind in their bed and reel and dance with devils and the dead? No, but that is what they bragged and claimed and said, until whole continents hell-bent named witches of the innocent, and did conspire to burn old women, babes, and virgins in a fire. Mobs raved through the villages and farms with torches, cursing. Bonfires flared from the English Channel to the Mediterranean shore. Through all of Germany and France, 10,000 so-called evil witches hung to kick their final antic dance. What a gruesome but a beautiful way to describe this witch being hung. No village but what shared a dread uproar. At each side named the other a devil's pig, old Satan's sow, the demon's maddened boar. Then they see wild pigs and witches glued to their backs, trotted roof tiles, fitting sparks, snorting steams. All Europe was a cloud of witches' smoke. Their judges often bound and burnt with them for what? A joke? Until all men were spoiled with guilt, all sin, all lie. So what to do? Why, everyone must die. He's getting at what a witch hunt devolves into, naming everybody. It's like I've said before, it's the French Revolution. Robespierre himself ends up guillotined, and everything.
They looked at me funny. He's a witch.
Yep.
How do you know? Turn me into a newt. A newt. I got better.
So the
Monty Python. That's why you didn't get that.
And if I did, I wouldn't have thought it was funny anyway.
Well, see, it feels so good, does it?
Smoke churned at the sky at every crossroads. Witches hung, crows gathered in feathered darkness. The boys hung from their brooms in the sky, eyes propped, mouths wide. I guess they haven't landed quite yet. Anyone want to be a witch? Asked Moundshroud at last. Henry Hank shivered in his witch's rags. No, not me. No fun, boy? No fun. The brooms flew them through chars and smokes. They landed finally on an empty street in an open place in Paris. Their brooms fell over dead. All right, so that's when their brooms finally die. I got that wrong in the placement of it. But they learned. So we'll find out where they are next when we pick it up next week and finish it out. But that idea of the witches, this last little lesson they've seen the ancient, and they've learned that there's an ancient thing within man that has to look for the light within the dark, and the sun's going to die, but it's always going to come back, and they need to look for that hope within the despair. And then he gives them through a little history lesson of the different belief systems and religions coming in and washing out the other one. And I think he even gets to later, because we get to the Day of the Dead and stuff like that in Mexico later and whatnot, and how Christianity stayed, since it came. But the idea of these witches, that just as you can find the light in the darkness, you can also get a little too preoccupied trying to find the darkness, and you end up finding it in the light. You end up, accusing people of witchcraft and whatnot. And I think there's Bradbury's got a subtle caution to people who would delight too much in that aspect of Halloween, because Henry Hank dressed up as a witch. Isn't it cool? Isn't it cool? Well, actual witches were burned and hung, and or people who were accused of witchcraft. And again, remember that he's trying to write sort of the Christmas Carol of Halloween here and get at the spirit of Halloween. And what he keeps kind of focusing on and coming back to, Moundshroud here, is the light within the darkness, but not the darkness within the light. That's not what Halloween's about. It's not. It is about the fun and the spookiness, but it's about learning the light within it. It's not about trying to find the darkness within everything else. I think that's a subtle but profoundly important lesson that the book teaches, and it'll get a little bit more explicit with it as we go through. But it's kind of a good thing to wrap it up on that chapter anyway.
Yeah, it's not meant to be. It's not a time to be evil. It's a time to be more respectful and cautious, even.
Yeah.
Of those who have passed.
And we'll get into this more next week when we finish it out. But the very origin, I think the book even leads us there a bit, of Halloween, it's All Hallows Eve. Well, what is that? Means the night before something. What is All Hallows? Well, that's the Catholic Day of the Saints, the Feast of the Saints, All Saints Day, All Hallows, All Holy, All Sainted, All Hallows Day. And so Halloween, All Hallows Eve, is the night before that. And there are even some pagan celebrations and whatnot. All kind of took place around this time of the year anyway, where the sun's dying, quote unquote, and trees are dying and whatnot. So there's a harvest kind of thing. But it's very primal is the idea, and he gets at that. There's it's a celebration of new life just as much as it is of death or of afterlife and everything. It's really cool. Arcade Burns says next week Professor Geek will do Let's Play of Costume Quest. Costume Quest? What's that? I don't know that. Is that one of the games? I don't know. Troy Bocelli says celebrating the light within the darkness and not the darkness itself. This generation, particularly the entertainment industry, needs that message badly. Amen. Preach. Definitely. Anything else you wanted to say about those chapters, Al?
No, but this is the second work of Bradbury I've actually read, and
Oh, cool.
I'm really seeing why you like him so much.
Yeah.
His use of language, his use of imagery it's beautiful, and it's different. It's just different. And
Mm-hmm.
he comes up with some wonderfully, almost poetic descriptions and in his prose. I just think it's
Absolutely.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful to read.
Mm-hmm. And he doesn't always write like that. Just to caution, just to let anybody know out there who might, he writes some science fiction stuff, which is very appropriate prose to science fiction. I'm reading some of his mystery novels right now, which are very appropriate prose to mystery novels. But when he wants to get very poetic and fairy tale-esque like this, or like in Something Wicked This Way Comes, he does it so gloriously. Really, yeah, there's so many other great Bradbury books that I'd like to eventually get to. I'm thinking next year for Halloween, From the Dust Returned. I kept saying October Country, but that's a different collection of stories. But From the Dust Returned is his book, collection of stories, but they're all linked, which was going to be his contribution to what became the Addams Family. He and Charles Addams were going to work on this together, and he wrote the text and created this family, and Charles Addams was going to draw it, but they eventually it never happened, and Charles Addams went on to create the Addams Family, and Bradbury went on to write these stories out for himself and called it From Dust Returned. So you've got this kind of creepy family of all sort of monsters, but they're not evil or anything, but it's really cool. Like the little boy has a spider that lives in his ear and whispers to him, and there's a mouse in his pocket, and there's one wonderful story. One of their uncles has wings and can fly by night, like a gargoyle type being. And
so are they creepy and kooky?
It's that essence, right? It's supposed to be like that. Now it's not as comedic. Bradbury's isn't quite as comedic as the Addams Family went on to be, but
maybe a little more quirky, maybe as opposed to.
Well, funny. Like one example of the stories is this. It's more profound.
Okay.
One of the uncles is like a gargoyle type with wings, and he can fly, and he likes to fly at night and stuff like that. And he goes out and flies, but I think it's lightning strikes him or something like that, and he's his sonar. It knocks his sonar out, so he's unable to fly at night. And as he's convalescing, this human woman, finds him and helps him. This man with wings, and it ends up falling in love with him. He falls for her, and he marries her. But he's still got that. He wants to go fly at night, but he can't because his sonar he's traded that in the story to meet her and to fall in love with her. But he still wants that. He still wants to be able to do that wonderful thing he could do before. And what he finds out is he can't fly at night anymore. But if she holds a string, or there's some child who holds a string, he can take the string and fly at daytime, and everybody on the ground thinks he's a kite. So he can still get the sensation of flying, and he still feels the wonder of flying. But the lesson there is, it's kind of this beautiful little lesson of, yeah, it's fun to be a wild stallion and go out there and just be free and single and do all the things you want. You do have to trade that off when you settle down. There's something to be said of sowing wild oats, but then settling down in life, however you contextualize that. But that doesn't mean you lose who you were before then. You can still reclaim some of that in the new context of your new life. So you can still fly, but in the daytime instead.
Or finding something good even through something that's tragic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another great lesson from it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, those are the kind of stories. And most of them do stick with the family that lives in the house, but occasionally they'll go off and follow one of the distant relations like that. But From the Dust Returned, I think we'll do that next year. So good stuff. Check in with chat. RK Burns says Costume Quest is a fairly recent RPG where you play as kids on Halloween, go trick-or-treating. Oh, cool. I didn't know about that. Tom Spiegel says, I think Al was waiting for you to say, yes, they're all together spooky. Yes, I think so. Yeah, Melissa Harris says, do the Addams Family series rewatch. Well, you already did Family Values, right?
We did Family Values, yeah.
Last Thanksgiving, I think, right?
Yeah, because it was one. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because it was one of the ones that took place at Thanksgiving. I think that's what. I think we had a vote on it, and that's what people wanted, I believe.
Yeah. And then Troy, of course, did. Troy, are you going to do Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? Is that going to be a yearly rewatch for you?
It should be. That's a beautiful film, by the way. I love that film.
Yeah. So that's
Those
where we wrap
aren't
up.
pillows.
That's the line. That's the line. So next week we finished the Halloween Tree. So chapters 15 through the end of the book, which isn't much. I mean, it's
about, about the same as the middle part. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about what we read this time. It's very short, and this is a big text book too.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll finish it out.
I'm looking forward to it because, like you said, I love the imagery of it and the kind of the little Halloween lessons these kids are learning. Yeah. And I'm hoping Pipkin comes out okay.
We'll see. Of course, yeah. It's for children, so it can't be so tragic, right?
Well, true.
Yeah. So that's a book study for tonight. This is Thursday. Did Fan Man? Yeah, Fan Man did his Second Cup Cafe this morning, right? I think you said he was on.
Yes, he did. It was an excellent show.
So that's back. But tomorrow night, Friday, I'm blanking a little bit. What happened Friday? Is he doing
we are doing the Friday night. We're doing a Friday night fright.
Mm-hmm.
It is Dracula, Prince of Darkness, Christopher Lee, from the Hammer from the Hammer films. So looking forward to that. It was originally going to be last week's, and this week was going to be Frankenstein Created Woman, but he wants to do Dracula, Prince of Darkness more. Yeah. So he's doing that. And then next week will be the Wolfman 2010 to
correlate with our Wolfman Universal.
To correlate with yours. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a good one too. It gets a lot of hate it doesn't deserve. I mean, there are parts of it I wish were a little different, but yeah, that's a good 2010.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, you're gonna in for a treat. So that's Friday. Saturday, Wolf 10 Media did a stream today, so I don't know if you're doing anything Saturday. Wolf 10 Media is kind of he does it when he gets a chance, but he always does post about it in this Professor Geek Facebook group. So go there to get the heads up for people. And of course you can, of course you should be subscribed to his channel with hit the bell so you can get notifications, hopefully, if YouTube complies. But Saturday night, what's going on, Al? Which one of you has that again?
It'll be on Troy Pacelli's channel, and it is Hellraiser 2, where I think it's Hellbound. Hellraiser 2, I believe.
Hellbound, yeah, he just wrote it. Hellbound, Hellraiser 2. He's got the link for it already. Good.
Yep,
okay.
That should be 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Papacelli's channel. Papacelli.
Yep. And go ahead and drop your Klingon Cleric channel out there too, Troy. Make sure people tune into that Gach video in your next one, which will be good. But Sunday, Study Hall on Age of Boomers channel. Troy will be there with him. And of course, Mr. Matchstick does a Weeb Watch on Sunday as well.
Weeb Watch, watching anime. I'll show it.
That's the radio edit.
Yep.
Then Monday, our Monday Night Muse has returned. So I think last she said she didn't have a topic yet. She's still here, I'm sure. But yeah, Monday night, 9:30ish, Monday Night Muse, Sound Engraver's channel. Mm-hmm. And then Tuesday, come back here for the Wolfman, the original 1940 Wolfman with Lon Chaney Jr. Wow. Your Cricket's very excited about that.
Yes, he is. Man, I think the Cricket's more excited about Maleva, the gypsy woman.
Oh,
Maria Ospenskaya. I think I got that name right.
The little old lady? Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's really cool. Yeah.
And of course, Bela Lugosi in a very short but very profound role.
Indeed. Yeah. Sound Engraver says, with the speculation going on with Tolkien and what they want to do with Middle Earth, I think I'll be talking about a Christian artist. Cool. Excellent. That'll be neat. That'll be good. Cool. And so Tuesday night, Wolfman back here with me. Of course, Tuesdays and Thursday mornings, you got the Second Cup Cafe. Mm-hmm. Wednesday, Green Lion Girl. Green Lion Girl, I saw you in here earlier. Are you still doing Hitman, or are you going to jump to Friday the 13th? Or is that the next week? Let me know if you're around. Because she has the gaming playthroughs on Wednesday. And while Birdman, who is the birthday boy today. Happy birthday to the Birdman himself, Daniel Herron.
That's true. Daniel Herron. Yeah. Happy birthday. I don't know if he's here, but
I didn't see him here, I don't think, earlier. But the other night too, he said he conked out early and he had to catch a stream the next day. So if you're watching this tomorrow, happy belated, Birdman. And I I don't know what movie he's going to do. I don't know. Age of Boomer, is he here too? I don't know. He might be with him again, but they did one just last.
I don't know, but I have been approached if I want to join to watch Dracula again.
Again? Oh, try that again. Good.
To try it again. But I can't attest to if that's going to be the next one or if it's going to be at another time or whatever.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, Bram Stoker's Dracula is in the future, and I definitely do want to do it because I was having a good time, and it just kind of fritzed out on everybody. So
yeah. Green Lantern Girl says, okay, yeah, so still Hitman this week, but then Friday the 13th is the week of the Halloween, or the week right before Halloween. So
yeah,
that'll be fun. People like that.
Yeah.
And then Thursday night back here for finishing up the Halloween tree. Be a lot of fun. Good stuff.
Yeah, love this time of year. Love this time of year.
I was driving to campus and I have to drive over the mountains, and I actually drive over right one of the entryways to the Skyline Drive, the Blue Ridge Mountains there. So gorgeous. The sun was the air was so bright and crisp, and the sun was just shining through the golden trees. It was just a glorious drive. I loved it. It was so great.
Got a recommendation for people. Those of you with Netflix, Haunting of Bly Manor, finished it up today.
Oh, is it good?
9 episodes, really good. It starts slow. So you got to stick with it, but it really becomes it's very profound.
Cool.
And I will admit to being very emotional during the final episode, I will say.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that's it. Any last words or last things from you?
Nope, just really enjoying the book. Yeah, I like the part where they were talking about the how every town has witches. Have I ever told you about Mal Dyer?
Do you have a witch legend near you, Al?
If there is a witch legend near us, her name was Mal Dyer. I swear, I'll have to tell you about this one day.
Oh, please do, by all means.
I certainly will.
Yeah, okay, so that's our stream for tonight. Thank you guys for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed the little gaming preview. That was sweet, wasn't it, Al? The retro box?
Yeah, that was kind of cool. I want to see if it does have Zaxxon on it.
I'll check here in a second.
Yeah, it was an old arcade game. I don't know who it's under, but it was an arcade game. I know it was on some systems or other, but I just don't know what.
Yeah.
Always like that game. Always like that game. Galaga.
Yeah, that man's playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did. All right, there we go, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us as usual, and we will see you next time. I'll see you back here on my channel Tuesday, but we'll see you in the meantime on the Professor Geek Group or any of the other places, all the usual hangouts. Until then, keep enjoying and digging deeper into the stories you love.
Bye.